Hello, welcome to the SBSB podcast.
The feedback spot back. We gotta say the whole thing.
Because people won't know what it stands for.
Yeah, exactly. If we don't say it.
Yeah, you say SBSB podcast.
Yeah. And I am Landon.
I am Mickey.
And I'm Cash.
And welcome to the podcast. Woo!
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So today, because a week ago, from this day, literally a week ago, because we're recording on the 11th.
Yeah.
And a week ago on the 4th, the last episode of Attack on Titan dropped. And literally the end of an era.
I mean,
the end of an era.
I'm sure everyone understands it. Everyone knows.
Yes.
When did the first episode come out? You know, like
It was
when did
2013.
2013?
It's been 10 years.
It was when I was
10
in middle
years.
A
school.
whole decade.
No, for real.
Yeah.
That's
You were
crazy.
8th grade?
I was in middle
8th grade, right? Because I was a sophomore.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
no.
I was in
I'm
middle
in 8th
school.
grade.
You were in 8th grade. Oh
Yeah,
my
he was
God.
in 7th. Yeah. So we were in middle school. You were
Yeah.
in high school.
I was in high school.
I remember because I remember being, because back when you're in middle school, everything is still kind of looks big because you're still kind of small.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting at those desks and being a little kid and being like, "Oh my god, I love Soul Eater," and everyone was like saluting to Attack on Titan. I was like, I don't know what this thing is.
Oh my god. Okay, do you remember when you first... Okay, I remember when I first watched it, right? When I was at school, I was hanging out with my weeb friends. Because we all watch different kinds of animes. My niche is like shoujo and slice of life, right?
Mm.
And so I don't tend to watch a lot of... Well, these days I do watch a lot of shonen, but before I really did it.
Mm.
And I remember, like,
True that.
one of my friends was like, "Oh, have you seen Attack on Titan?" And I was like, "No." And, like, she used to wear the jacket all the time. And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Well, you should watch it. It's really good." And literally a random day, I was just like, "Yeah, why not?" And I went and asked, I went and asked her uncle, because he was, like, still very big on anime.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Oh, what do you think about, Attack on Titan?" He goes, "Oh, I don't think it's your thing." He's like, "It's kind of gory and blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh, but I kind of want to watch it, And so we watched the first episode.
Yeah, I feel like that's everybody.
I know, but, like, did we watch it
First
together?
impression.
Because I remember watching it with him, but did we watch it
I
together?
don't think so.
I'm not sure.
I think I watched it on my own.
No, because then we, like, continued the whole season together, right?
Well, yeah, no, I think we all, like, not discover it, kind of
We've
discover
all
it
may or may
alone.
not like watched it separately per se.
I feel like we, at least for me, I remember watching it myself. The first
Really?
episode. Yeah, at least the first episode.
but, like,
Because-
the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah, no, I
that's it.
think then we kind of, like,
Eventually
huddled in and we all
huddled in.
watched it together.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure either because
But-
back then we still had like the tablet.
But, oh my god, I like that first episode, bro. I was just like, holy shit. And, because the ends on Erisbon being Ian, right? I remember finishing it. It probably was the most intense kind of
Like
anime I watched at that time because I wasn't into that, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
it was like it was a banger first episode. I think for-
Literally banger first episode.
It was a very
I'm like,
crazy
it's such
first
a good
episode.
horror first episode, right? For someone who has no idea what
Yeah,
it
it
is.
just throws it at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. What just?
Like, there's
What
these
happened?
3 kids, and they're over here like, yeah, like we're just living our lives, and then a hand comes over the wall, and you're like,
Yeah,
What?
it's just like the whole like mystery behind it too,
Yeah.
where it's like we don't understand it,
yeah.
but it's like it's supposed to be scary. It is scary,
I'm like, that
and
whole...
there's this huge ass thing, and it's like,
Yeah.
and they're enclosed,
Yeah.
so it's like they
They're
kind of like
oh,
herd
we
in
live
sheep,
behind these walls.
and it's like, oh my gosh, what's happening
literally,
over here?
like, that, I'm like, the whole first season, right? Because
Yeah.
there was like a 3-year gap between the first and
Yeah.
second season, and the whole first season, because like, not because I didn't read the manga. I literally didn't read it until after 4th season, just for the last little bit, because I was like, I'm impatient. But I was like, yeah, like, I'm like, no spoilers, because I'm gonna ride this all the way through.
That's actually very true because I remember being like I don't know which season this would have been. I think this would have been like just when season 2 came out and people were already talking about like, oh my god, you know what happens to Armin? I'm
No,
like,
for
I don't
real!
know.
Yeah,
I know.
Because people read the
People
manga.
were reading
Right.
it, yeah.
And I was like, ain't no way. And I remember actually hearing that spoiler and then being like, that sounds stupid as freak. But
Really?
but this is because like around season 2, you don't know what happens
Yeah,
yet.
you don't know what happens.
Season 2, you don't even know like
They're not
who
even.
anyone else
I know.
is.
I'm like,
Yeah, I
they've
don't know.
just
No, yeah,
now realized there's other Titans.
yeah,
in
right,
manga.
because I don't think because Annie wasn't
Among
even
Us?
introduced yet, right?
Season 2?
Right?
Yeah, Annie was in season 1.
Annie
She
season one,
hardened already.
But it was like we had to know that.
Oh,
Ryan
really?
Rambo was
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah,
like
season
part of
one-
season 2.
Season one, they captured her.
Oh,
Season
never
1, at the
mind.
end,
At
they
the end,
captured her. She was
hardened.
yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, ending. Let's get to the ending, then we can
yeah. Before we talk about all the other seasons. Yeah.
But oh my god! So the one earlier this year, right, was literally Precursor Part 1, Hanji's death. Like holy shit, bro!
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then I'm like, how do you guys like the ending though? Like how it ended?
Oh, the ending.
I feel like, what's it called? For me, the ending is like, it's perfect. It's perfect. I don't think there's any other way it could have ended. I think it ended the way it needed to be, especially for Attack on Titan, and the way the show has been, like, sort of I don't want to say, like, the message of the show, but, like, but I think it does reflect very well from the message of the show as well, but I think it's just, like, the bittersweetness of it is perfect for just... Like what? Because
just what
if we got
AOT
a plain,
stands for.
Yeah. If we got a plain good shonen happy ending, that's not what we.
Oh
that's
no, for sure.
No,
I would be.
Yeah, some people wanted that, but I'm like, that's not what we need.
I'm like, it's not. I'm like, that's not. Yeah, that's not this kind of show. You know?
Oh yeah,
and it ended. And, well, obviously, it ended better than how it started. You know,
yeah.
Like at the beginning, it's like we have no hope. Now it's like,
well, now they
it's
know.
Like we kind of, like I said, now it's just like it's acceptance. It's like we've been through all this. We know what this is.
Yeah,
and. This is how it ends, and we all knew it was gonna be like this.
Yeah, no, like it was a good ending. It was just I am bittersweet. I sound a little salty.
Literally, I was in a hole of depression after watching it. I was just like, "There's an Attack on Titan shaped hole in me."
But it's I felt weird watching because I watched like the first hour of it, and then I had like another 30 minutes left, and I watched the last 30 minutes on my lunch break at work.
And
I was sitting there. I was like, I don't know. Like throughout the whole watching the whole episode, I felt I don't know what I felt. It was confusing because I was like, I don't know if I want to cry. I don't know if I want to like feel relieved. I don't know if I want to like be like, oh, this is great. Like this is a good ass last episode.
Yeah.
I'm like what Landon said when he texted us, when he was like, oh yes, it feels weird to be like for it to say the end instead of
the end instead of so you can
and I literally I sat there when it came up
10 years.
Yeah, when it came up and I was like, damn, this is goodbye. I'm like, damn, Attack on Titans.
This is literally goodbye to like, because you know how everyone talks about how like Evangelion defined its defined its generation, and people still talk about today being goaded, and I'm like, Attack on Titan is there. Attack on Titan is there among like the really fundamental animes that just shaped an entire generation.
Yeah, no, for real.
My goodness,
we were raised on AOT.
We
were the generation.
I wasn't like a crazy AOT fan, right? Like, but like I followed it, like you know, actively.
We followed it actively,
and it was like growing up with it and. As the themes in it matured and like obviously got more complex.
I know I matured exactly. No, for real.
And it just like obviously like people say you feel like you grew up with this anime and this was that anime. For me or I guess for us.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was insane. It's just
I definitely cried. I think I lost it when she was carrying Aaron's head.
See, you know what's crazy? I see that and it's like it's one of those visuals that's like. This is one of those things that's just like it's so sad and it's so like distraught because it's like fuck man.
No, because it's just like damn man we watched these people grow and it's like it's a little bittersweet because I hate it. This is going to be a spoiler so obviously.
Oh yeah,
I was like for God's sake, but this is because we're going to actually talk about it, But I'm just like man, screw Aaron because I'm like so you play this whole crap. Just so then you could eliminate the Titan powers. I'm like, you son of a gun. Mm-hmm. And, it sucks because it's like, he's useless. And he still is useless. No. But it's like, but he's still, he wants to, like, righteously sacrifice himself, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to like you, but I don't like you still, Aaron. So I'm like, screw you.
See, but that was like, the thing is, Aaron isn't, like, he's not, like, redeemable to the sense where I'm like, Aaron is still the protagonist. He's not. He's a tragic antagonist. He's a tragic antagonist where it's like he does, he did these things and he did for a reason, right? But he still did these fucking things.
He still did these things, man.
Like he's still a terrible person.
Like the whole scene where he's talking with Armin and he's just like, I don't want to die.
Such a good.
I know.
It's such a good sequence.
He's like, I don't want to die, but I did all this shit. And I do deserve to be in hell. And Armin's just like, we'll see each other in hell,
Yeah, I'm like...
That whole scene, it was different in the manga. Not different, but, like, the conversation was different, right? Because in the manga...
Was it more dark?
It was kind of like... Because people hated that part in the manga. Because Armin basically says thank you for being a mass murderer for us instead of like we're all gonna take this in together because we all did this together, right? Yeah. And instead Armin's just like, oh yeah, thanks for killing everybody for us, and I'm like, bruh. So, but like in the anime,
also they changed it.
Yeah, they just changed like the conversation.
Yeah.
And like but that literally that whole scene, I was like, I was like, oh my god.
I laughed a little bit when he started talking about how he wanted Mikasa to.
And
Armin was like, "You're fucking pathetic."
Yeah.
I was like, exactly,
no, he is.
Exactly. I'm like, this is so weird.
That's the thing. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I hate it when you say that. Why do you say that?" And I'm like, the thing though is you have to understand, Eren as a character has not changed at all.
Hasn't changed.
This is the problem with him. Like like I've always said, he's a shonen hero in a seinen like world.
Yeah.
But like he never grew.
I know.
He never grew as a character. He's always
oh my god, you're right.
All
shonen pro tags don't really grow.
Well,
they grow in their own way. But like they're always like that determined boy. Exactly.
Yeah. And for his fundamental, he's like, if something bad happens, I'm gonna get angry and I'm gonna fight.
Yeah,
and
that's his whole thing.
That's what he's done the entire
show.
Season. And he's never stopped. And now he has the power, which he literally says it himself.
Yeah.
I have the power, and I think I got it to my head.
Yeah.
And that's literally what it is that defined his entire arc to becoming an antagonist and choosing the
mass murder,
freaking genocide.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm like, because that whole scene, because when I was reading, because I read it like late last year after when they were like, oh, we're just gonna announce like part 1 and part 2 like hour-long episodes and then we're gonna be done. And I was like, why didn't y'all just do it all now? But I get it. So I went and read it, and so I already knew about the whole ending.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I know, because I really was like, no, I need to know. Like 4th season fucked me up. Okay, but see, because I'm not the kind of person who will read a manga and then watch an anime because I can't do that if I already know what happens. Yeah. But with AOT, I was like, no, I have to watch it play out because I've been at this for 10 years.
Yeah,
I know how it ends, but I need to see it end. Yeah. I'm like, I do love it that Mikasa is the one that kills him, but that's the point.
Oh yeah, no, that's the point. Right.
It's like she's supposed to kill him.
Yeah, like he was the one that kept pushing her to do it.
I mean, and she's pretty much she's the reason why Ymir also protects from her love for the king as well, and it's like, okay, I'll get rid of all the
You're the one that has to end it basically, and it's just damn, that moment when she when Armin goes and opens Eden's mouth, you know what I mean? And she jumps in. And it's just the moment of him opening his eyes. And it's just I'm like, damn, that last moment. Yeah.
Bro, when freaking Levi finally got Zeke, I was like, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, Zeke, he's over here cool. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like that that Zeke got all the other Titans out. And then Levi's just like, nah.
No, I was about to say, I'm not
I don't give a shit about
it. In one moment, I was like, what the fuck did you do, Levi?
Yeah, no, I got so scared too. I was like,
no, man.
But
it's like, it's alright. He's done.
He got it, man.
Right. Like that huge burning
he had. The point is to kill Zeke, because he's like, he has the royal blood.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm like, the whole Levi and Zeke thing, I'm just like,
I know.
I was over here I was like, yes, this is the last thing he gotta do. He's gotta do this, man. He's over here, dying with a bandage.
Yeah.
His leg just got torn.
He has no eye, no right eye.
Oh my god, I was like, bro.
Over there, I'm just like, damn, man. It's just, it didn't, oh my gosh. I didn't know what was gonna happen because I was like, when that thing,
the
ejected
giant,
all the smoke, I was like, no. Yeah. I was like, no, guys. And they're like, this is the way we gotta go. And I was like, come in.
Yeah, I was like, they're flying, and then I was like, wait, why are they? And then I see Jean and Connie. I was like, oh no, it's because
when they're standing there and they're just like,
I was like, there. I was like, you guys are gonna go back, right? I'm like, what's going on? And then it just. And I was like,
I know, for real. When they standing there and they're just kind of accepting it, and they're just like, well,
this is how we go.
We fought up to here, so And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, that scene was so good too, because I'm just like, AOT decided to have just one last fuck you, huh?
Yeah, right.
One last oh wait, she didn't see this coming.
Yeah, I know, it was insane. I was like, everything about AOT is just amazing. How it is, it's just because it's so full of twists and turns, and so much plot twists, and it's like everything is connected in some way, and it's like you have to watch it and really pay attention. It's not one of those animes that has real fillers. At least from what I remember, maybe there's a couple of episodes that are fillers, but for the most part, most or all of them were.
There was a lot of like political,
but yeah,
like, a lot of political.
But like that's like kind of what it
even
was.
Even season 2, yeah,
because it was kind of like trying to be like like we're trying to make it a utopia kind of a thing, and then once they got off the island, then it became political because it's like this is war
literally like because like thinking just the first episode, like first season, right? When you watch the first season and you're just like, oh, this is like because you get all the world building, you're like, oh, this is so cool. There's like a horror like theme, and it's like we don't know what these tie-ins are, and it's like and because you just get the little tidbits, like in between the episodes where it's like. Just a rundown of just like general information they know about tie-ins, right?
Literally
they're like
the world building.
I know. They're like, we don't know. Like they don't have a digestive tract, but why do they eat humans? And I'm just like, oh my god, for real, it was so freaking good, right? And like when we ended the first season, in my head, I was like, oh, that's a fun like it's a fun world, right, to be in. And I'm like, damn, I can't wait to see what happens to these characters. And then 3 years pass, and then they like start pulling out shit, and I'm over here like. Whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean there's other talking titans,
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, when Zeke showed up.
Oh yeah, the discovery was like crazy.
Okay. We gotta talk about our favorite scenes, okay? Because
oh my gosh,
there's so many twists and turns, right? For the whole show in general,
right?
Like your favorite
scenes. Oh my
favorite
goodness.
fucking scenes,
okay.
man.
Well, for the last season,
I have a list.
or the last episode. I should have made a list too.
Yeah.
But I did cry a little bit when Levi gave the last salute. I was like,
for real.
Another big like,
for real.
God,
I was like, damn.
Gonna see the bad. I mean, seeing Jean and Connie say goodbye to Sasha as
No,
well.
for real.
I know. I'm like,
big smile. Like, let's go.
But I'm like, screw you, Eden. I'm like, you had to kill Sasha. I'm like, why?
Okay, never mind. We'll talk about the scenes. I have a scene that made me like literally punching the air, being like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
my favorite scene, literally top scene of the entire show, is when Levi and Zeke first fight for the first time. Oh yeah. Literally that scene is so fucking dope. Like
it's
holy shit.
What is it now?
When it's like season 3, right? And
I thought it was
they're doing the Suicide Squad run, right? They're all running towards
it's the Irwin Suicide Squad.
Irwin's running towards Beast Titan.
That scene is also goated.
So fucking good. Literally I'm like, it's my favorite scene. Levi's like, I'm gonna take him down. Yeah. And he starts, swinging on the Titans, freaking killing them, and then he gets to Zeke. And I'm like, every time I watch that clip, like I get all hyped
of him just taking it down because Zeke's like, oh, like no,
Zeke is like, no one's gonna get me. There's all these Titans, he felt safe, and then Levi comes up and he's like, whoa, wait, they warned me about someone.
Yeah, they warned me about someone. Yeah, it is like Levi,
and
like,
all of us are just
literally
the cap is coming.
Whole damn sequence.
I know that thing was like. Oh my god! Like that scene was like
every time I watch that sequence, it still gets me so pumped up. It gets me so pumped up.
And then the last when he's like, "Oh, I found your ass," when he cut him out.
And he's over here like, fucking talk to me, man. They sorted him out. He's like, talk to me.
Yeah, I was like, Levi, this is why, man. So this is why. I'm like, God damn.
Levi, no, any scene with all of Levi's action scenes, okay, high key, are the best.
Action scenes. Yeah, of course.
All of his action scenes.
Levi's, yes.
Like, bro, he's just.
Well, yeah, most of Levi's scenes, like action scenes, are always
they're
just the best.
They're all
well done. They're all
literally my not my second one. My third one though is the Levi versus Kenny scene at the beginning of season 3.
That is a banger.
I remember when I watched that first episode when the season came out, and I was like, oh fuck yes, we're getting right into it.
I know.
It's so good.
They just, honestly, it's from the get go, from episode 1 of every AOT, from every season. It's just like, hey, welcome back. Like, it's a fucked up show.
So good.
Here we go.
My second favorite scene is the ultimate. It's like it's the turning point of the anime, right? Yeah. Is when Reiner and Berthold decide to reveal themselves.
Yeah.
Holy shit! That scene is also like so damn good because that whole scene, right? That whole scene, like Reiner's just over here, like, no, we're gonna come clean, and they freaking transform, and Eren is just sitting here like, wait, what's happening? And everybody's like running to him, right? And he's like, what is happening, right? And then and then he realized that he's like, you damn traitors, and then he transforms, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, watching that scene, I was Eren. I was like, wait, no, what's happening? What are you talking about?
I mean, literally, they spent the entirety of like season 2, right?
Yeah,
building
season 2.
Us to like Reiner, brother.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, I loved Reiner season 2.
Yeah,
I was
loved
like,
Reiner.
I still love Reiner. What are you talking about?
I still love Reiner too.
He's fine.
Well, see, okay, so one of my favorite characters, he's probably my favorite, is Reiner.
No!
Reiner, yeah!
He's your favorite?
He okay, after Levi, I think he's my favorite.
No freaking way. Mine is Levi Armin. Like, you can't put Armin
No,
aside.
I don't like Armin.
I love Armin.
I don't like Armin.
Bro,
That's
no way.
Me, though.
No way.
I don't like Armin. But anyways, scenes. The very scenes,
Yeah. No, that whole thing. It's so good, but do you guys remember that clip I sent in, like, our group chat? But, like, of that scene where they, like, are about to transform, right? Like, Aaron's standing there, the two of them are standing there, and they're literally about to transform, and you just see the flashes of their titans, like, in their frame, whenever they do the flashing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy damn. I'm like, that whole episode, I was like, that whole scene was directed so damn well.
I know.
Like,
like, everything, like, because...
The music.
Because once you figure out, like, everything, the plan of what AOT was going towards. Because for me, I took a break from it. I think I didn't watch season 4 for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
Because I took a break because I was like, hey, I'm not doing this. I'm like,
you didn't watch it until literally this year, right? Earlier this year?
No, last year.
Late last year?
Yeah, late last year. After I took a break, I went back and rewatched everything. And I was like, yo, I noticed things that I did not know.
No, I'm like, it's also...
It's all planted.
It's all planted in there. And like, whenever you do go back and watch old clips...
But it's so insane that there's like stuff in season 1 that will happen
for season 1,
season for the final freaking episode.
No, people were even saying like because the episode title,
the title
first, exactly. So
which I think is the craziest part because it's like even at that time it's like, what does this thing even mean?
Right.
But most of us, we were like, okay, it's like, oh, look how bad and shitty this is right now. So it's to you. I think it's like to you 200.
2,000 years.
Yeah, 2,000 years, something like that. And it was like, okay, yeah, this is probably like like. It's sort of like nostalgia, me like, look how shitty this is.
The human race,
gets better.
It'll get better. And it's like, then you get to the part and you're like, oh, it's just him communicating
to himself.
It's like so
because he's a little shithead. I'm sorry, I hate Eren, man.
It's so good.
I'm like, he pisses me off.
See, okay, I don't like Eren, but I get it.
No, I think he's a brilliantly written character. I think he's still trash. I think Eren is still the lowest of trash.
Yeah, like he can't redeem himself.
So
but it's like I feel for him because it's like he has to like shoulder all this, and
of course.
He like, well, obviously it's his fault.
It's his fault. It is his fault.
That's the problem.
He brought it all himself.
Right on himself, and he did say, when on his speech with Aaron, him saying like, it was probably someone smarter. We could find another way to do it. But then he's like, but it's Eren. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm like, good on you for knowing it, for being self-aware, because you are dumb. And my goodness,
I'm like, if it was Armin, he would have found a way.
Dude, if it was Armin, he would have found a way.
He would have found a way.
I'm like, my God, man. I'm like, why does it have to be you, Ed?
Yeah,
why?
for real.
And it's just.
I'm like, it's so good, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
Speaking of favorite scenes, I still remember this scene, and this is one of those scenes, where you just get chills, and you can never like if you
get unchilled.
You're like, no. If you can like unwatch a scene just to watch it again, to feel that adrenaline again. It's the scene where they have that little meeting, right? Where Zeke had organized this meeting to like reconcile and like compromise, right? This little treaty thing, and then they all have a drink of the wine, right?
Yeah.
No,
and Zeke had put in all his blood in the wine.
Spinal fluid.
Yeah, spinal
fluid.
Why did I say
no? Maybe
serum.
Not that kind of
serum.
spinal fluid.
Yeah. He's trying to make everybody infertile.
So nasty. Ew.
So
what show have you been watching?
The knockoff Chinese version. So Zeke, and they have that moment, and the Zeke's on top. I think they're like outside, right?
Yeah.
And then he screams, and it's like, oh shit.
Literally, that scene made me cry. That scene made me cry.
Pixies died.
Yeah,
Pixis dies. Levi has to kill all his comrades.
Okay, but I love that scene too because Levi's like.
He's
over here like you thought that I was gonna not kill my comrades. He's like nah, they're Titans now.
He's like I've killed enough of my comrades.
And I just
that's actually very true.
No, like literally, I was like but I'm like that scene just made me sad because I was like Levi has to kill his people.
Or that whole scene where he's just like in the forest and it's just all his comrades are there.
They falling out of the trees.
So
good.
Crazy. And he's just looking down. Okay.
He's like, what? He's like, yeah, it's
like, I'll end you guys suffering, and he's like, and then I'll get him for you guys.
Literally, when he catches up, right, and he like that, and he's just over here like, you fucking little bitch, and I was just like,
I know every time. I'm like Zeke, why are you always needing help? Why are you always running? And it's like, come on, man. And
I'm like, you can't be Levi,
he had to
man.
blow up everything,
really
man, and then screw up Levi. Man, it just sucks.
But, all right, and then another scene that like literally is one of those again where it's like I wish I could unsee just so I can watch again. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows it's like. I think it's like the finale for like part 1 for season 4, where
for season 4,
for when Zeke and Aaron, or this is probably part 2 actually, when Zeke and Aaron's plan is going through, and Aaron's trying to get to Zeke so that he can,
when Gabby shoots head off,
and he's holding it's literally Aaron transferring the tie-ins, then getting cut up, and then jumping out, transferring again, and then the final bit where he's running up for Zeke. And then Gabby shoots his fucking head.
His head
and it's like
twists off.
Yeah, and then
it was such an anxiety.
Literally,
oh my gosh,
it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just an adrenaline rush, and it's just the most bombastic things that fucking happen.
I know, and you just see where everybody is at the moment, and everybody notices this, and it's just like. Shit, and it's like
literally the biggest showdown. They're having this inside one of the walls, and
in
it's
the
like
walls,
the biggest fucking showdown.
And like when people during that scene was just like, he knew his head was gonna be shot off. Because, he knows everything at that point.
Yeah,
and so he knew that Gabby was going to shoot his head off, and he still had to run for Zeke. And I was sitting here, and I was like, oh my god, for real.
And I mean, this also like highlights one of my favorite like bits in the final episode, and it's the final bit whenever they're fighting against the Titans on Aaron's back.
Yeah.
And then like I think that it's like one of those moments where it's like, oh, it looks all down, and like somebody jumps for like. One of them, I think maybe Jean or something, and then Gabby shoots them, and it's like,
for real.
Oh yeah, that.
I'm literally like, fuck yes, Gabby.
Yeah.
I was like, I hated when you did this.
Yo, I did.
She
was a little shit. She was a little shit.
I mean,
she killed Mother effing Sasha. I was like, yo,
but brainwashed
how do you just do that? Yeah. See, exactly, Reiner, redeemable, guys. Anyways,
he's fine. Okay, he's not like my least favorite character. Okay, but
I love Reiner.
I still like Reiner.
But you know what? what Gene did say, he's like for an armor tie you get bashed.
You get bashed.
I was like, you know what? You got a point there. But I'm like, but Reiner's doing it all, guys. I'm like,
literally, Reiner's the armor tie, but he gets bitten through by the jaw tie. He gets beaten up by the one guy or by Annie who can harden.
Anybody who can harden. And for real, like, what's this point?
He gets broken by Eden's like
his will
bear
is
hug.
weak. Okay, his will.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean, literally, like I said, literally,
he's like
Reiner,
over it, man.
At the end of the day, Reiner is like,
he's over it.
I mean,
Reiner's been through the most. I don't know because Annie was hardened forever,
Annie
and then he had to go watch his best friend die because Armin fucking ate his ass.
Bro, that whole scene though, like, cause
oh my gosh,
that was such a one of my favorite scenes.
That whole thing, I mean, even with
I mean, because they have the
Erwin was
I remember
Erwin was like, "Yo, peace out, guys."
The thing with me was I didn't watch the second part of season 3 until right before season 4 was about to come out, because then at that point, like, our sister was like, oh, maybe I'll check it out because y'all keep like going on about Attack on Titan. So we watched I think we watched second season and third season, like first part of third season together, right? And like in preparation for season 4 coming out, and then we get to second part of third season, and I was like, oh wait, I don't think I watched this. I'm like, I guess I just like stopped halfway through and didn't continue. And so literally third, like the second part of third season is where it gets batshit crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so the whole scene, and I, for some reason, wasn't spoiled about Armin, becoming colossal.
Yeah.
And so I, like, went during the whole damn scene, and, Armin hanging on and his flesh ripping, and then, I'm like just thinking of all the memes, but like because
what are you talking about?
All the memes,
all the memes.
Because he's like a burnt piece of body.
Yeah,
and then
ugly. He looks
Erwin
like
is over here,
shit.
and they're like, we could save Erwin or we can save Armin, and then Armin starts coughing. Like it's so
Armin
good.
just reminds me,
I know.
I'm still alive.
And it's so funny. But I remember that whole scene. Me, like our sister and I had to pause. That, like we were like. Yeah. No fucking way. No, like, we were literally sitting there screaming. And we were like, no fucking way. And we were like, no, Armin cannot die here, I remember just us, like, throwing the biggest fit. But, at that point, we were binging it. So we were we got, like, the episode right ahead.
Yeah.
But I was like, imagine manga readers and people who are watching week to week.
Yeah, I know.
Like, Oh my god.
That's why I was glad that I took a break from it and then watched it all in one go, because there's no way I would have had a mental breakdown, because every week waiting for
every
that.
Week, bro.
That's why, because like season 1 and season 2, watching it week after week, I'm like, no. Like, I can't wait for this. Like, I need to know what's happening.
Oh my god. See,
so
I watched season 4 week after week.
Because they're so good at, like, just fucking you up, bro.
I watched season 4 week after week, and that fucked me up big time. I was just like, oh my, like, literally, after every episode, I was just like, no way. No way. I was just like, it's either going to go real bad, or it's going to be okay, but it's probably going to go really bad, because that's just this show, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, to unwatch it, I mean, obviously I would want to unwatch everything so I could rewatch it again.
Yeah.
But even, I think, like, I don't know, season 1 hits different for me.
It hits
because
different.
not that obviously that I know everything,
right?
But it's
you
just
can't
like
see it the same
you
way.
can't because the when they're
the optimism
when they're training, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're going to the scouts.
Potato Girl.
They're Potato Girl and Sasha. I'm like, oh my gosh,
literally,
it's cool
it built
and all
itself
that.
up so well, like a shonen story.
Yeah,
and that's what most of us thought. Going into it was like, oh, this is like an edgier shonen story because they're actually killing people.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, just wait
for it.
Yeah,
bro.
like I said, most of us being kids were like, "Oh yeah, they're
they're
fighting, they're gonna win, yeah."
It's like you thought you knew.
I'm like season 1 was
because season 1, like, with the first episode, and it's just like, holy crap, oh my goodness, like he kicks the wall in, and then it's like, oh my gosh, like Eden, like control yourself, and then it's just him putting the boulder in, but it's like the whole sequence too of him like getting his Armin trying to grab him, and his arm gets bent off, and he goes in. Yeah, he goes inside, and it's just like that whole thing where I'm like, because I remember watching that as a kid for the first time, and then I had to wait for the next episode, and I was like, why? I'm like, what happened? What's going on?
For real.
And it's just his hand that just gone, and I was like, no way.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening? And then the whole, like, even when they were trying to find, like, was it to find the hole or something? And they were like, it was at nighttime, and they had the two teams, and they were like going around the.
That was season 2, right?
Was that season 2?
Well, no, when they were like scouting,
like for the hole or something like that, and I was just like, oh my god.
I think that was season 2.
But it's just like that whole thing.
Ymir does her whole transformation, right? Because then they get stuck at that tower, and then Zeke shows up.
Yeah, the whole tower. Man, mother trucker, man, I hate Zeke.
Dude, that tower was.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Mother.
That whole scene was very good.
Yeah, screw.
I'm like, when you watch the episode and then he just talks, and you're like.
Oh my gosh!
What?
Yeah,
Aaron can't even talk.
Yeah,
Aaron can't even talk
because Annie already showed up, and then obviously Reiner and
Bertolt.
Yeah, I can't say his name, but Bertolt, whatever. But like them two, they can't even speak. Yeah, they can't speak. The armor and the colossal Titan, they can't speak.
Yeah, the only one who can't speak is the Zeke Titan.
Yeah, and then he shows up and he says like, "So how does this work?" Because he was touching the gear, and I was like, no way, this guy just.
I literally think of horror.
He is like he's just this big gorilla looking thing.
And
he's just so damn ugly.
When he started throwing the boulder.
Yeah.
I remember this shit. And I was like,
literally.
No.
I know.
No way.
Shit, we're not.
Yeah. But he was
talking. I love that. That's kind of his skill though.
Yeah. He was targeting the horses. Remember? he was targeting the horses, and it's like
yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
And they're like, and then everybody's like. Oh, he's a smart Titan. Mm-hmm. So he's like he has a conscience. It's
what other scene was like fucking brutal when Hannes died fighting the smiling Titan that ate him up.
You're right.
That whole fucking scene was so fucking stressful.
It was.
I remember because like everybody's trying to like.
He's like, I got you. I'll kill it for you.
And Hannes is over here like. No, I need to do this.
Yeah.
And then he's like not doing it. And then Aaron's over here like, I'll help, but he still has stubs for fingers.
Literally
and
no way.
I'm just like,
useless.
Oh my god, literally that whole scene was so stress inducing. Because then all the other scouts are like trying to like run because they're in open field with Titans. And I was just like, I think Erwin like loses an arm, right? And I was just over here like, oh my god, that whole damn scene was so stressful. And then Hannes dies. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? And then and then he faces down, the Titan that killed his mom again. And I'm just over here like,
oh my gosh, but mother trucker, man! I was like, because the whole last episode of it coming all down and everything, and it all connecting, and then them seeing like, oh yeah, by the way, it's all Eden's doing it. It's like you son of a gun. And then he's like, he's in the target of Armin, and he's like, I had to send it to my mom. I was like, oh my god! I'm like you piece of shit, bro. I'm like. you sent it to your mom. I was like, you son of a gun.
No, for real, he was trash.
I was just,
and I think it's crazy too
this
because
is all him doing himself dirty.
Because that tie-in is his dad's wife,
right? But like, yeah, when it first revealed too, I was like, oh my god,
I know.
Like,
no, during that scene though, because it's crazy because that's the first scene that we get a glimpse into like Aaron's power of like communicating because he talks to his dad and he's like, please, like what's it called, like save Armin and Mikasa, save everybody. And I was like, at that moment I was like, what is going on? Like my mind is baffled, and then then it gets explained later, and I look back and I'm like, Aaron.
Yeah, I know.
Aaron,
motherfucker, bro.
And he's been there at every moment in time.
He's been there.
Yeah,
he's been there.
I know. It's just,
but no, another really good scene, and it's one of those scenes that it's like it's like I'm rooting so hard for like our characters because we've grown up with them. It's like these are our guys, and it's a scene where it's pretty much like beginning of like season 4. Well, not when they've been building up Marley the entire time, just focusing on Marley and talking about how they use these times to fight war, etc. And how they do all these different things, etc. And then they have that that huge like convention, whatever, where the guy's explaining about the tie-ins and like what happens, and then Aaron eats them, and yada yada. And then all the other tie-ins come, to try to stop Aaron. And then all of our guys.
All of our guys.
They all show up in their new gear.
In their new gear.
Yeah. And they're literally swinging up in the building, like jumping this guy. And then I think it was the jaw tie-in guy. What is his name again?
The jaw tie-in?
The one with like the weird mouth thing?
The guy before, before, what's the kid? Who's the other kid with Gabby?
Falco?
Yeah, before Falco, the guy before him. Whenever he looks up and he's like...
Oh, I forgot about him. Wow.
Yeah, when he literally looks up, because, he's like that hot-headed, like, I turned about... He was literally like, these guys are just coming after us with no fear.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's our fucking guys.
Yeah, I'm like, they've done this their whole life. I'm like, what are you talking about?
They're over here.
Because they're literally like, we use tie-ins and everyone's afraid. Nobody has a counter tactic.
Exactly.
These motherfuckers have trained and they are going to fucking
I'm like, bro, these guys, I'm like, they're the scouts, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm like, I so much pride in the scouts. I'm like, my god. That's why I was so confused when you guys, because I remember you guys saying that if it wasn't you guys, it was like my friends in school, and they were like, oh, like, because like we would joke around, we'll always like salute, do the scout salute. They'd be like, oh, you don't know, and I'm like, what? And they're like, I'm like, the scouts aren't redeemable or something like that, and they're like, it's not the same, so like, nah. And I was like, what do you mean? And as I was watching the the seasons when I'm like, no, I love the scouts more. What are you talking about? But I don't remember if it was you guys or if it was my friends, but they were just like, yeah, no, man, the scouts aren't it or something like that.
Maybe.
Like,
what did they do?
I see when Armin go, the scouts are what you call like we're perseverance, and the Annie goes, I'm part of the military.
No, for real.
I was like, shut up, Annie.
Yeah.
But it was also be part of the family.
Yeah. My God.
Literally, I'm like, like up until the end, they're over here like, we're the scouts, and I'm over here like, yes.
I know the ending. Yeah, the ending. They're like going to go back to the island, and they're like, we're the scouts, and I was like, you guys are the scouts.
So freaking.
And they're like the OGs, man.
No, they're the OG of that class.
Of that class, for real.
They're the only survivors.
No, for real though.
Of the scouts. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me just say it again.
Everybody.
Everybody.
I was like, because they had a whole fight scene with
my God. I freaking hate Flock. Okay, he's probably my least favorite character. Like high key, my least favorite character.
I texted in our group chat saying that I think I like Flock.
No, literally Flock is like self-serving. Okay, he literally when Aaron was like, yo, you want to help me out? He only did it because he was like, yo, I'm gonna get power.
Yeah.
And he's like,
okay, but if you really think about his edit.
No.
He set it all up.
I mean,
Aaron did set it all up.
Everything.
But it's like, because Flock, Flock doesn't see what Aaron does.
Exactly.
And for him, it's just all about like, no, we have the changes, and he's willing to kill people for it.
Yeah.
And he's willing to do it without like any greater cost.
For real. And they're over. Yeah, exactly. And everyone's over here like, no, we're fighting Titans. Like, we're not like only turns for fighting people. Yeah. But it's just like, no, we're trying diplomacy, and Flock's over here like, kill, and I'm like, bro, no one likes you, okay?
Just kill them all, just all the scouts, and it's
like, no, we're right.
I know. I'm like, he had, because I cried when Hanji died.
No, that whole scene is also good, right?
It's so good.
Because Levi says it to her, like, Shinzo Sasageo, and then she flies off, and she's still over here going, man, Titans are cool.
Yeah, I know. I literally, I was like, God damn it,
and
man.
And her music, her theme for that whole scene, so good. God damn.
And then when she dies and she sees everyone again, and it's just like,
it's one of those moments. It's so like revitalizing as like, we do have hope. There is some good for these people.
Because right, she wakes up and she's just like, Or she's just like, man, screw you, Erwin. And then he's like, tell me about it. And I'm like, let's go. I'm like, Hanji is not alone. We're okay.
Yeah,
they're watching. Because
together.
screw them. Yeah, they're all watching. Just like, look how bad Eden's going to fuck it up, guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Erwin's over here like, fuck, man. Why did he get chosen? And I'm like, you know what? That's true. That's true. Because Eden sucks, okay?
Aaron's
he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Dumb.
He's just like, the last resort is genocide, and he chose that as his first option. And it's like, okay,
no,
that's true.
That's real.
I was like, that's great, guys.
Real.
Like, he's such. I'm like, what a class act.
One of my favorite scenes too is when Levi like beats up Aaron during the first season, right?
All the time.
And you know, he's just and you see the tooth flying, and I'm like, man, that whole scene. I'm like, they didn't have to go so hard, you know?
No, but Levi.
No, but I just all loved Levi.
Levi had a show
for real. I'm like, that whole scene, and then like Mikasa's over here like about to lose her shit, and I'm just like, no.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, bro. I'm like, this is why Levi is like,
he's bae. He is bae.
Exactly.
He is bae. Oh, dang,
like, you know, when people are like, oh, like how they have like anime waifus and husbandos, like,
oh yeah,
Levi's mine.
He's definitely. He is. I'm like, my god, man.
Yeah. Also, okay, because
did you say he's a short king?
He's a short king.
He's a short king.
He's just a king. Don't call him short, bro.
He's tiny.
He is short. I know.
love him.
Watch him, like him. Usually, you know, when they were in their suits and everything, he's just walking, and he's over there. He's just shorter than everybody.
But
and it's like, damn, man.
Something I was also thinking about, like when I was like going through the seasons again.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, I don't think there's been like a piece of like equipment in like fantasy and sci-fi media that I've seen that I wanted to use for myself.
Mm-hmm.
The ODM gear, holy shit. I remember the first season, you know, when they were like introducing shit. I was like, how cool would that be though? You know, like I was just like, damn, that's so freaking cool. And I'm like, I don't think I've like felt, well, actually recently I have like felt like an affinity to like, you know, wishing like something like inside like fantasy world was real. Other than like, because I watched Nausicaa recently, her little wind glider.
Yes.
I want to ride that shit so bad. But I was like the ODM gear. I'm like, it's just every scene with them is so damn
it's
good,
always
you know?
good. Yeah, it's so it's so interesting that how they like just built this whole world up.
Like, you know, Isayama
is just crazy. It's just insane. Like all the intricacies in it.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I think he was apparently like gonna kill everybody like for the ending.
Yeah,
like he was just like, oh,
that's
everyone's just gonna die. But then he was like, but you know, then everybody really liked the show, and I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I'm like, how do you not have an attachment to the character?
No,
he
does.
Yeah, but you know, but I'm like, why would you want to kill them all off?
Because that's the story he was trying to tell. Literally, that's just the story. But I know. Everybody, like, you know, it became so big, and he was just like, I can't do that to this character.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, even the ending with Eden being buried and Mikasa there in the tree.
Oh, the tree.
It's
that
the whole,
credits,
of it just speeding through the years of it, and it's just like, I'm like, Eden, you did nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the thing though. Is it
can't be helped.
No,
like you can't alter it.
I was like, the biggest thing was because for Aaron it was either let his friends experience peace during their lifetime,
right?
Yeah.
Or let them live through war, pretty much.
Right.
And let them live through war, and then maybe afterwards have some peace. But for him, it was like, peace now. Like, I'm gonna be the big bad. I'm going to die. I'm gonna create I'm gonna be the biggest enemy for the entire world.
Yeah,
the 20% of the world. And then my friends will have peace. And then after they die, then, you know, the cycle will repeat. But thankfully, it's not now. And that's the reason
not for them, right?
Yeah, that's why he chooses to do that.
Yeah, well, I guess that's like everybody's like how everybody's or different people see different things. Because like for me, I'm like, you know, I mean, I get it. I get why he was doing it. I understand it. But then again, at the same time, I'm like, dude, you just gave everybody like
so much work,
so much work, so much mother effing trauma. I'm like, you forced Mikasa to cut off your head, to cut off your head. I'm like, she cannot recover from that. Dude,
no, you know she loves you, man.
Yeah, I'm like, she can't recover at all. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then Armin seeing your head. I'm like, dude,
no, that's when Armin cries, that's when they got
no,
me.
Yeah. Armin's crying always gets me.
Like,
man.
Okay, see, I don't know because
it's like our first time seeing it.
I love Armin.
Okay, yeah, I don't. No, because every time I hear him cry, I'm like, you're such a little bitch.
No, not a little bitch.
I know he's not. Okay, no, edit this, but I'm like, calm down, bro. But then again, I'm also like, if I saw a friend of mine's head, I would be losing it too. But
I was like, the part where it reveals that Aaron's been talking to all of them.
Yeah,
throughout the whole time, because like he doesn't know either. He's trying to console himself and them. He just doesn't know, and then he's like, and then when he died, everybody gets their memories back. And they all just like, God damn it, Aaron.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, damn, that's but I'm telling you,
I love that scene. Like even in the manga, even when I was reading it, I was like, oh my god, like
it was so all of the last part
poignant.
Is so well done, so well directed. I was like, wow, like there's so many good moments in it. It's crazy. Yeah. How I'm like
tension's high.
I don't think I've ever seen another anime that's like that has done this to me or that is like this detailed with it.
Yeah.
Where like obviously there's other animes that I love. Yeah. But like they're not AOT though. Yeah. Like it's everything about it. Everything about it is just crazy to me. Like how they built it, how they directed it.
It's like it doesn't hit the same.
All the little details that they put into it.
I was gonna say, like, I think most people revered best anime endings of all time, or I was like, arguably the best anime of all time had been Code Geass for like the past decades, because Code Geass's ending was evidently really, really good. Or what's called? Do you guys care if I spoil Code Geass's ending?
No, because because it's mech, right?
Yeah,
I can't watch.
Yeah, I was like, so
even though AOT is kind of mech, but
no,
AOT isn't mecha. AOT isn't mecha, bro.
Yes, they literally have giant people. They turn into giant people that hate each other.
It's not mecha.
So Code Geass's ending is pretty much very, very similar to Attack on Titan's ending, which is where like a lot of people will draw the similarities. Of course, I feel like because I haven't seen Code Geass's ending, AOT's ending, it means more to me, and it's got much more layers to it.
Exactly.
We've lived through it.
But, 10 years.
We've basically lived through the whole AOT era. Like, as Ed and them grew, we grew.
Yeah.
And we literally...
No, literally. But spoiler for Code Geass's ending.
Yes.
And it's like, it ends, like I said, pretty much the same way AOT's sort of does, where, because, it's a mecha, meaning it's political and it's war.
Yep.
Lelouch, who's the main character, he, towards like the end of like that season per se, he makes himself to become the biggest bad. Same way, he makes himself to become the biggest bad, and then he has somebody kill him, in the finale, who symbolizes hope to give everybody, to get everybody on the same side, to get everybody to pitch in and to pretty much like get sold onto, to get sold onto this, and so he gets killed, he dies to the symbol of hope. And it gives everyone, like I said, that good feeling inside.
Right.
But it's, he did this right. And Lelouch is like, he's revered to be one of the smartest characters in all anime.
Exactly.
And this was like his big ultimate plan for the finale of Code Geass. And I was like,
pretty much Aaron heard about it and was like, maybe I should.
Maybe Aaron was traveling the multiverse. And I'm like, hey, this guy kind of onto something.
Yeah.
And that shit was like 200,000 years in the future.
Yeah.
For real. But like, he was like, but Aaron pretty much, or Aaron's whole plan of being like, I need to become the biggest bad and make my friends, the
heroes.
The heroes, yeah. And then even at the end, they weren't because of that whole everybody turning into Titan, because literally they were on the they were on the cusp of it, right? Because then there's like the Marleys and the Eldians, and they're over here like, no, we can trust each other. And then the commander was like, they had like that little conversation where he's like, yes, we got to work through this together. And then they all turn into Titans because of the one bug. Yeah. And then they all transform back. And at the end, when Armin goes up and is like, I'm the representative.
I killed him.
Yeah. And like when you see that part, it's just like, no, I'm like, it didn't work. I'm like, they don't see them as the heroes. They're still monsters in their eyes because they literally just transform in front of them. Because like at the end, even when they're on like the boats, they're like emissaries, right? They're over here like trying to make negotiations again, and they're over here like, well, we just gotta try it. It's like, we're surprised the boat hasn't sunk yet, And I'm just over here like, bro,
I know, but it's just.
I mean, I was like, that's just the Jaegers, which are the worst. I mean, that's why that feels the worst about it, is because it's like now.
And Historia's stuck there. Oh.
I know, right? Historia's stuck there. Yeah. It feels so bad that Historia just kind of got like backburnered.
For real.
I was like, dog, you were like, got some hope.
I know.
Good for you. But it's alright. She's living her best little life.
I mean, she's a kid now, so it's just so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. What were your favorite songs? Like opening and ending. Let's just have an opening and endings.
Okay, opening endings.
Yeah. I have a rank of them. But
I was gonna say, I don't have a rank, but I know my favorite. Like, hands down favorite.
I mean, everybody's hands down. Oh, the OG
season 1?
Yeah, no matter what.
The Rumbling, bro.
The Rumbling
is my favorite.
The Rumbling is
do you remember?
Good,
okay, Were you there? Were you here when I watched the first episode to the fourth season part 2, and I heard the rumbling? I literally lost my shit. I was like, "Oh fuck yes, we're getting a freaking rock song!" I was so damn hyped. I remember that was the whole first episode. Okay, I remember I watched it as soon as it dropped, right? And so I turned it on. I watched it, and you just hear the freaking the rumbling and the where come in, and I paused it and I was screaming, and I remember like our other siblings were like, "What is happening?" I'm like, "You don't understand."
I remember because I was in my room and I'm like, I was like, "Yo, Cash, what are you doing?" And Cash was like, "Yo, it's so good." I'm like, "What's good?" I was like, I don't know.
I was like, "No freaking way." Okay, and then, because my favorite ending is Akuma no Ko, and high key probably my favorite song out of the whole lineup. But Akuma no Ko, when I first, because then after the first episode, right, you watched Akuma no Ko, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, tears. I was like, holy shit, this is so good. Yeah. I was like, we're in it now. We're the final stretch, you know.
Yeah. I was like, Akuma no Ko is absolutely
number one, bro.
Absolutely, and arguably best song out of the entire series.
Best song.
But my favorite opening is season 3 opening. It's just Shinzo Wasasageo.
First opening.
Yeah,
right?
It's just for me.
Patriotic.
It's the most patriotic I've ever.
It's so good though.
It's good, but I just hate it.
That's my third.
I hate it being so patriotic. I'm like,
like
I get it, but I just don't.
It's not like patriotic, but it's just like literally like giving up, like give your damn heart. You know, we're all fighting this war together.
We're all in this together, and we're gonna get this. And for me, that's like the whole message where I'm like, I'm totally into this.
Okay, so maybe that's why I didn't like it, because I'm like, I know it's gonna go to shit. Maybe that's why.
Because the first opening ever is my second.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Because it's just iconic.
It's iconic. But it's
immediately where it's from.
Exactly, and when it starts, it's just like
it's a banger, still a banger, you know. And
I mean, obviously, it laid the groundwork for like the next
everything.
Because like the Linked Horizon, right? They did a whole concept album for AOT anyway, and so I think for seasons 1, 2, 3, like all their songs came from that concept album, and so it was all like the same theme and stuff, and all sampled from the first one, and it's so freaking good, man.
So freaking good. What is it? No, but you saying about like rumbling and like
bro.
For me personally, for the longest time, I was like rumbling should have been the final like opening we had.
I know for sure, right?
It's so well. But then for the final season, we got Linked Horizon. And I was like, this
makes sense.
This is what we need.
It's so good. When you go through the lyrics, it's literally like it references.
I haven't.
It references all the other songs, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, oh my god, this is so freaking good. But I'm like, also Linked Horizon, goes so hard with Attack on Titan. They're over here like, no, like we are Attack on Titan. I'm over here like, yes, man. So I'm like, I just love the whole thing. The last Titan, the song Saigo no Kyojin, it is pretty good. And then Aya Higuchi, right? She does the ending for this final episode also, Iterashai, and it is so fucking good.
It is so good.
I was just like, damn. So that's number 2 for ending.
Yeah. That's ending. You're doing endings.
I mean, those endings for me.
Well, I'm doing both, whatever. But no, like her, I'm like, I love her songs in general. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, if Akuma no Ko is Aaron's song, then Iterashai is Mikasa's song. I was just like, holy shit, it's so good. I
agree. What was it? Is it called Spark? The one that's kind of like morbid and kind of like...
No, it has to be part 1, right?
Oh, it's probably part 1 then. But I was like, that ending is also one of my favorites for sure. Just because it's also like just as haunting as like one of the openings.
Oh, it is so haunting. That song.
The atmosphere of it.
Yeah, I was so into that. The shit, like we're in the shitter and there's no hope. Like that, I was so into that.
Oh my god!
Which is the dichotomy of
that song. I mean, that song's low, like second to last.
Oh really? Yeah. It's like my third. Because
the opening that I think about that I hate the most is the fourth opening part 1 song, My War, Boku no Senso. Literally, because I remember, when that song came on with this animation, I was like, no. I was like, no. I'm like, this is too dystopian for me. I'm like,
right, no, exactly.
I was like, the anxiety, I'm like, it was like, because, if Shinzo Wasasageo is the patriotic song for the Scouts, this song is war propaganda. Like, holy shit. I remember, I was like, sitting here and like, because, it's like, it's a happy song, but you know it's dark. You know it's dark.
I know, it's like that eerie feeling.
It's like, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I always skipped it because I hated it. But then I did hear like a piano cover, and I'm like, it is such a beautiful song.
It is.
But I hate when it stands for it.
I've actually recently got into classical music, I guess.
Let's go.
Good, man.
More classical music,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Just like, but more just
man.
instrumentals.
Yeah.
And not obviously, And I'm like, I was listening to a lot of like AOT soundtracks, all the covers, like they would cover it piano
Okay,
wise.
just AOT
or
soundtrack
violin.
in general. Like
And I'm just
Sawano
like,
does
wow.
such a good
Yeah,
job.
like
Holy
Sawano,
shit.
the thing is, like Sawano has done such a good job.
Yeah.
I follow him through like most of his projects, and most animes I get drawn to are just because it's like, oh yeah, Sawano
did the soundtrack.
like
bro.
Rise of the Shield Hero.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude.
Did you watch that?
I haven't watched it yet, but like I was like, I'm gonna fucking watch it. I also heard like the new season is trash, but I was like, I'm gonna watch it just for Sawano's soundtrack.
Yeah. Literally, I'm just listening to the soundtrack. Like,
I mean, no, I have been.
Oh, okay.
And then Solo Leveling is getting an anime, and
Sawano's doing that too.
Sawano's doing it. As
Oh,
well.
Really? Well, I want to watch that anime anyway, so I'm gonna.
Solo leveling.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard it's good, but
Yeah.
oh yeah, TXT's also doing it.
Oh
The
no,
opening,
you're
I think.
right. I
Oh,
did hear
TXT's
that.
in it?
I did.
Or
Yeah,
the
they do the opening,
OST?
I think.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, no. So that my war was like literally every time I hear it, just gives me anxiety. Like
It is, but
it
I think
still
that's
gives
what's
me
so
anxiety.
good
I
about
know
it, you know?
it's so good
Yeah.
because it goes so damn well with the entire show. But like it gives me so much anxiety.
Especially the season 4 part 1.
Yeah.
Just because season 4 part 1 opened up with so much
with
so much death.
Marley.
It's just-
so much, literally so much just like war.
yeah,
war,
so
war.
much despair, so much like
Like
bloodshed.
these children going to war, like holy shit!
I know.
man.
with
But it's just like it's so
sister.
dumb. Well, it's not. Okay,
Oh
see,
my
that's
god!
why. That's why I'm like, I hate war, man. Where it's just like it's so because they both have two sides and they can't just talk about it. They're like, no, we got to go and put our
Because
lives
there's
there and
death,
die for
there's
it.
so much death, right?
I know there's
And
so
it's
much
like,
death.
and yes,
It's like,
both sides have
It's like
sacrificed so much.
we have to like literally show our point with like
with
like
killing,
accounts.
yeah,
Right,
with
you know,
like
it's
killing,
like,
and it's like, well, you finally
That's
listen and
war
whatnot,
in
but it's like,
general,
guys, we can just not do that and just talk about it, be civil about it, but screw Eden. I'm sorry, it's all because
But
I
you know,
can't.
but Eren
I can't
chose to
see,
be
but
the
that's the
big
thing.
dog
Okay,
and
no.
kill 80% of the
See,
world.
so that's like the only thing because I'm like. That's what I'm saying. It's bittersweet because I don't know how to feel about it because it's like I get all the like how valid everything is and how like oh my gosh they did this for this, they stood for this and whatnot for everybody.
Well, Aaron's not valid.
And then it's just like well actually I made this all happen. It's like screw you, Ed. Get out of here. I'm like I don't. That's why I'm like I don't understand.
Well, I mean like
how
the
to.
whole conflict like with Paradise and with
with
Marley and stuff has been before, but like
right.
his whole lifetime was all him.
Was all
the
right. No, exactly. So I'm just like
no, even before his lifetime because
Yeah.
he had like the owl tell his dad whatever blah blah blah. So I was like, bro, but like literally,
so how y'all feel about because I was also one of those people that made fun of Marco. And his
I don't
dad.
know. See the problem. The reason why is because
It was just so random. Where when like it didn't show his death, it didn't do anything.
Oh,
it was just like he's gone.
Well, no, the thing was also because it was during season 1, right?
Yeah, season 1,
and then we had such a huge gap from season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
But like at the point that we had like started meaning Marco's death, we
Yeah.
had so much distance from it.
Yeah,
because we had seen season 1 like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and it was like, Marco, remember guys?
remember.
Yeah.
But like
Remember?
obviously now later it's like
No, for real,
such
I
a
like
big like
that was such a big twist
such a
because
huge,
see
like,
that I'm
traumatic
telling
event.
you, but Reiner is
that whole-
always there, man.
That whole scene
like in
makes me
terms
not
of like in
Reiner.
the pivotal moments where it's just like holy shit because he's like we gotta kill him. We gotta take him.
Literally,
I'm like,
that whole scene. That's I hate that. That makes
I
me
know,
hate Reiner,
and then Marco's like, wait, no,
I won't tell anyone.
Yeah, and then it's just like the time coming on, like,
Yeah.
Reiner, what did you do?
Literally.
I mean, that time, during that time, Reiner was still like, fuck the LDNs, and I was like,
no, for real.
Reiner, no.
I mean, but he had to do it, man, for the kids.
I'm like literally
he had to do it
seeing
for
I
everybody,
know, and
his
then like
family, and then he's also over there like when he lost it, when he was having a whole like identity crisis, where he's like, wait, no, I'm a warrior, and then he's like, wait, no, but I'm a scout, and he's like, wait, what is this? And I'm like, and even what's his name again? His best friend. Yeah, when he was like, remember we're warriors.
Yeah.
And they were like,
he kept his head, bro.
Reiner,
Reiner's over here,
because Reiner was over here shouldering everything. Because oh my gosh, that scene when everybody came and then the guy dies, the other kid dies, and Reiner's like, no, we're going. Like, we're not turning back, we're going. And
I'm
like,
when they're like, there's no turning back.
Yeah, I'm like, keep going. Oh my gosh. See, because Reiner is like, I'm shouldering this.
Yeah.
Because he was like,
but that's also part of like his problem or his his ignorance like as a kid. And as a kid, he was like, I have to do this, like for the greater good, but like not for his friends, like that was his decision though.
Yeah.
And it was like,
yeah,
he could have made a better choice, but it's okay. You know the way that they were all like pretty much like I said like groomed for warfare.
Yeah.
It was like
for real,
crazy.
like insane. Oh my gosh, like all the memes of freaking Eren pointing across the ocean.
Oh yeah, that is also still one of my favorite scenes too.
Yeah, no, it is. It really is.
Gives me
chills.
It does every time you see that.
Because it was like
they finally get to the sea. They finally get to the sea.
Yeah, because literally the emotional journey I had during this point, it was like we've gone through all these things. We've defeated the Titans. Then we had to fight, like people in power.
Yeah.
And then they finally get to this point where they saw the sea.
Yeah.
And Eren goes, "No, they're there. The enemies are there." And I was like, "There are more fucking enemies." And I was like, "Man, I hate this anime." Because it was like I said, it was just like taking shot after shot, being like, we can't win. We cannot ever win. There's always another enemy.
Because it's so crazy. Yeah, no, because like the whole beginning of it was just that we're alone in this world, and then it's like, well, actually, the Titans are coming from this civilization, and then after that, after they get there, end it. They're like, well, actually, there's more, and it's just like, why it just keeps expanding and expanding, and it's like that's great.
It's
and
right.
then
The world building is fucking amazing.
and then they realize that they're like, we're the only ones that's experiencing Titans.
I know.
And I'm like,
holy
what?
Shit.
Because they literally thought that everybody was dead. Population was dead. That it was just them. Because obviously the king was like altering their minds. And it's just like insane. It's just, they're just like, but like, if you really think about it, it's like that, this civilization, all they knew of was that there were Titans. Yeah, was inside these walls and about Titans. And it's like, once they get out, and Eden is like, nobody knows about this besides us, about Titans. And nobody has ever experienced it besides us. And he's like, it's their fault. let's go kill them all. And it's like, no, that's not Eden. That's not what we're trying to do. During the whole part where
he's like in Marley and he's like, he's in disguise, or that whole part.
Yes.
It was like, dude, it's just one of those moments where it was like, it was just so, I don't know how to describe it. It's like I'm rooting for these guys, but like we're in uncharted territories.
Yeah,
we're in an area where I'm
for
like,
real.
we aren't gonna win.
Yeah,
and it felt like so.
The odds are against us, man.
Oh yeah, the odds are against us, and it just felt so bad. And during that part too, because this is when they had like Zeke's whole backstory.
Yeah,
right.
So
so
we knew about Marley and everything.
Also, when he was with Reiner underneath, and he's like,
we're the same. Yeah, we're the same. They are the same. They're legit.
Because Reiner is just like, he has less self-esteem than Eren does.
Yeah.
And Eren just has more like, I will actually just punch through everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'll actually But
he's
Reiner,
like, I'm gonna just do it,
Yeah, but Reiner actually feels bad.
Yeah, Reiner feels bad.
Right, no, he has remorse.
Eren's
over here like, well, he might feel it, but then he was like,
I'm still gonna do it.
But this is my job, or this is my purpose, and it's like, Ed, screw you, Ed.
Yeah.
Do something about yourself, please. Yeah. And he's just like, I'm just gonna turn now. And it's like, that's crazy.
So good.
That's so insane.
So
oh my god.
Literally.
Yeah, everything about the whole thing. Like, even like because be honest, right? The very first season, I didn't know that it was Annie. That Annie was the Titan.
The female Titan?
The female Titan. I didn't know that.
Well, when after they captured
no, obviously. No. But me watching it again, I was like, well, it was obvious.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But for some reason, obviously I was a kid, I guess.
Because, like,
when I was a kid, I was like, who is it?
We're not even paying attention.
And then when they go,
it's another
when
person,
Eden's like, let's go, and then Annie's just down there like, I ain't going down there. I was like, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? And then she just turns like that whole sequence too of them like setting her up. I'm like, wow. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I just can't with this anime. And then as a kid, you just weren't expecting it to be this kind of a world. Yeah. And it's just insane to me that like I'm 24 and it's the ending of this anime, and this is crazy. How like I'm like, I can't even process this.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm still processing.
Because to imagine this anime, stage shonen, happy-go-lucky, we actually killed all the time,
Yeah.
would be like such a different story.
Yeah,
it'd be such a different like I said now as like a 23-year-old.
No,
like,
for sure. No.
If this was the story, I would have been like, wasn't worth the wait.
Wasn't worth the wait. Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
I could.
I probably would have given up on it. Like,
I probably would have given up. I was like, could have just watched Demon Slayer and got the same.
Whoa.
But like, I'm so glad that like this is the turn.
I mean, Demon Slayer, we know he's gonna win. Like,
yeah, we know he's gonna win.
It's that kind of anime, man.
He's gonna kill him.
But like, I watched like in more intense animes, I guess, or just like anything in general.
Yeah.
Like with this, it's just.
No, but
that's what I'm talking. It makes me frustrated because
it's just more compelling.
I'm like I get the ending and how like there's no way it could have ended something like differently, but then I'm like I want more though. I want more.
No,
I'm like I still want more. I'm like edit. You gotta explain more. I don't like this. I'm like yeah, exactly. I'm like hold yourself accountable. I'm like you just want to go out like that. You just want to go out like that.
Okay, and this is the thing as well. Is it's. I think it's beautiful in a sense where because for him
it is
it's about freedom.
Yeah,
it's about being freed from the things. And I think it's like for me, it's always that scene of him flying like as a kid.
Yeah,
and it's that moment when you understand. You're like, because Eren has never changed. He's been the same, and for him, he sees himself as a kid as well.
Yeah,
and for him, like once he dies, it's just like he gets to be free.
Right.
He finally doesn't have to worry about
the
entirety of the entire time.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about his friends now because he's freed them of war, and it's like like I said, like Aaron's finally free.
Yeah.
And in return, I would say as well, like his friends as well. Like now they get
closure.
They get closure. They get to live without Titans and
without Titans. Yeah,
because for them it's like being hunted down as Eldians.
Right. Yeah.
Because now they don't have to per se have to live through.
Yeah. Now they're like, no, we actually can't turn.
Like we're not Titans anymore, guys. So I don't know. It's just
like I said, it's just for me, it's beautiful. Seeing Aaron's resolve go through is beautiful because of course he planned this all.
He did.
To see it finally come to conclusion is like obviously his journey to here was the shittiest thing in the world. But it's like his like I said, his arc getting to have his freedom was just like
I'm like just the whole scene because when he's talking with Armin and they're standing and it's just like a beautiful ocean, they're like, this is what we wanted to see, this is what we want to see, and it turns into blood, and then he was like, but I guess this was also what I want to see, and I was just like,
so tough.
I was like,
but it's just like all the symbolism in it. I'm like, my god, I'm like, this anime is different. I'm like, it's just
so good.
Because like for real, we watched it when we were kids. And so now I'm like, it's odd to me that it's ending or that it ended. Yeah. And it's like, wow.
Mm-hmm. I mean, personally, I'm not gonna lie. It's like my second favorite anime of all time now. If I'm not being stingy about my first, then it's
what's your first?
Barakamon.
Oh, right.
But I just like Barakamon because it's just like for me, it's wholesome food.
It's wholesome food, exactly.
And then Attack on Titan is like what I would just review as to be like, this thing was just like the biggest impact on
my life. Yeah, biggest impact.
Honestly, it probably is my second favorite anime because obviously Your Lie in April is my favorite. Yeah. And it's Attack on Titan. I think it surpassed Full Metal. I think AOT surpassed Full Metal.
Yeah,
I love
Full Metal. Is really good.
I love Full Metal so much. Like the brotherhood, bro. Just them two, and then just them against everybody. It's so good.
Hey, don't spoil.
Yeah, and I like both of them. Full Metal Alchemist, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, both of them are great for me. I don't care, because the first one is it's also very morbid, and it's very it doesn't end happy, and I'm like, dude, I kind of like it though, right? And then the Brotherhood, it's it's more of a satisfying ending, and I'm like, okay, I like it too, but I don't get why people hate the first one.
Yeah, you don't hate the first
one. I don't hate it, but a lot of people do because they're like, it's too grimy, and it's a little too, I guess, realistic. But I like realistic though, Yeah. And everything about Full Metal is so good, but AOT is just because I didn't follow Full Metal because I watched it after it was all out and everything.
Yeah, it's been out for
AOT. Right, exactly. AOT, I grew up with that crap.
AOT was literally
it's a different connection.
when we were getting into anime intensely.
Because like I said, during AOT, it was I was into Soul Eater at the time, which is probably the first big anime.
I'm like,
I was into SAO.
I know you're into SAO. Oh my god. I was over here watching like all the shoujo I could find.
Yeah.
Freaking Toradora and like Kaichou
Toradora.
Sama. Like literally I was
Club.
Yeah, I was watching all the like shoujo stuff
Maid-sama.
and then all of a sudden like Attack on Titan loomed up and I was like, maybe, and then I watched it. I was like, oh, we're good. I was just like, yeah, no, AOT was like, we watched it when we were like, you know, just forming what anime was, you know?
Right. Well, yeah, no, because like we were
just
like
getting a sense of what it was.
It was just us, like, I don't know, because I'm like, I can't believe I was in 8th grade when I watched this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's insane. That I'm like, wow. I'm like, what was my little shithead doing back in 8th grade? That I was like, let me look at this gory ass anime.
I mean, I know what I was feeling when I was watching that time. I was like, yeah, let's go, Eren.
I know, for real.
Let's go Titans.
I was on Eren's side.
Yeah, okay, I was on Eren's side.
Really?
First season, I was on Eren's side, man.
Okay, well, not that I wasn't on his side. I already knew from the beginning that he was useless. Literally, he kept failing, and he's over here crying that he can't turn, and he's over here hitting everybody, and like, yo,
like I said, no, but that's a formula like shonen trope.
Yeah, right. No, well, I get that. I get that, but I'm like, man, he is useless, and then as it progresses, you're like, he is useless. And then he's the epitome of useless.
Yeah, let me tell you about season 3. Season 3 is my least favorite season.
Really?
It is my least because like the whole delving into the Fountain Titan and everything, and Eren.
Okay, that's true.
Okay. I was like, Eren, take some damn action. Yeah. Like, do something to impact the greater, circumstances of it, and he's so fucking low.
I would say like season 3 part 1 is my least favorite. Part 2 is like
because it picks up. Yeah, and you're like, oh my god.
But like overall, that's like my least favorite season.
That's true. Like I tried making my girlfriend watch it. And because I'm like, it's so good. I'm like, because she would love it. She would love it. Because she loves this kind of stuff. And she's just not really into anime because she's with all the sexual stuff. And I'm like, AOT has nothing. Nothing like that. It's
besides,
nothing like that.
Zeke's sperm.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry, I misspoke. All right, but anyways, no, and then she was watching it, and she's like, "Wow, it's really good." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, right?" I'm like, "The last season's coming out." I'm like, "You have to catch up." Yeah. And then she stopped, and I'm like, "Why'd you stop?" And she's like, "Because of Enen's monologues, man." Yeah, I'm like, "Okay, his inner monologues."
But
she's like,
"That's just protag."
He would think about it, his whole monologue, and then he would just be useless. I'm like, "I know," and she's like, "He just gets whooped." I'm like, "Exactly." I'm like, "Exactly."
It's very determined, but he can't do shit. Okay?
Exactly. I'm like, that's what happens.
That's the thing.
That's what happens. He's like, he loses to Annie. He loses to Reiner. He loses to Zeke. He loses to everybody.
Literally everybody.
Loses to everybody. And I'm like,
he's the most useless.
He is.
Oh my god.
It's like, and all the scouts have to save his ass because they all know he's the only hope. And it's like, my god, man, you just give him more work than anything. I'm like, you son of a gun, man. I'm like, screw that in.
Yeah, because see, I'm like, this is also our sister's like first anime she's been into, right?
Yeah.
And so,
crazy.
Which is
honestly
crazy
because all three of us watched
it growing up,
a variety of anime.
She didn't watch any at all, right? And so then when I was like, bro, AOT, it's coming to its final season, and she was like, yeah, sure, why not? And so, I mean, she's like also very into it now, but she's also like, how do I find another one like this, And I'm just like, and I look at her and it's like, you can't.
You can't.
I'm like, literally, you can't. Like, oh my god, because I don't know if she's watched finished watching the last episode, like this last episode. I don't know if she's finished, but like she was like asking me because like she's been getting into anime a bit more, I guess. Like she's watched Spy Family, just not in the same realm.
Yeah,
but she's enjoying anime a little bit more these days.
That's good.
Like she's giving more chances. She's exploring.
Yeah.
But she's over here like, but where do I get another one like AOT? And I'm like, you can't. You really can't.
It's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
everything else
is right. No, I'm like everything. I'm like, well, we can't really top AOT. AOT was just so epic. It was such a roller coaster of like ups and downs.
So many roller coasters.
So much.
You guys remember when what felt for us was the finale of like the entire series was going to Grisha's like basement.
Yeah,
like that was
because that was like we thought that was like how it was gonna all like tie everything together. And it's like actually you just open Pandora's box.
I know.
You just open Pandora's and like oh my god.
Like because the tonality shift, it's like Grisha's basement and then it's before and then it's after.
Yeah.
That's literally the change. Because before that it's like we got this is gonna we have hope. There's something out there that answers. They get there, they don't get answers. They just get
more questions.
They just get a dumpster fire.
Yeah, they just get hello, welcome to hell. Kind of a thing.
Yeah,
pretty much.
This is the world we live in, guys.
No, welcome to Eden's world, guys.
Oh my God.
Mother trucker. I'm sorry. I'm not over it. Screw Eden. I'm still mad about it. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's just like, job well done to the team, you know? Snap
no, I'm like,
for everybody who worked on AOT.
Out of Wit and Mappa, I like both studios I love, okay? Like,
so
I love
good.
all the animes they produce, but also, like...
The animation, too. Like, everything about the soundtracks. Everything that involves
the
AOT.
Entire
everything
team.
From this whole decade, this past decade, like, good on y'all, man.
Y'all did great.
Y'all did
we love
absolutely amazing. Holy crap. It was... Wow.
Yeah, but so for Wit versus Mappa, right? Like the animation styles, which one? Like, because like people are always like, which one do you prefer, right?
Which one do you prefer?
Yeah, I think both of them has their own kind of merits, right? I do love. I'm like they're all so good though. I'm like you can't compare.
Yeah. Well, no, like, they're all good.
It's all just
like
good.
Obviously, like when you saw the shift, the change, it was to me at least it was a little weird at 1st, but then I'm like, okay, I dig it.
They just made everybody hot, okay? Yeah. So I was just like, I'm fine with this.
I dig it. Well, yeah, it's like them maturing a little bit.
Yeah, they're older
and
now.
It's there's more. I don't know.
It's like it's darker. Like the whole theme is darker.
Yeah, I love it.
Which I'm like Mappa did very well. Because but I'm like, because Wit is like defining, like literally Wit defined what Attack on Titan was supposed to look like. Because Isayama's drawings are not it, right?
No, they're not it actually.
You haven't seen
I've
them,
seen the manga.
They're not it, right? But I'm like, Wit did such a good job making it like as pretty, as beautiful to watch as it was. Because when you just see like literally just the scenes of them standing on top of the walls looking over the town, I'm just like, I know, holy shit,
everything about it.
I'm like, Wit does such a good job at that, right? And something I do find so funny, like, is baby, like children them.
Titans?
Them. It's just their old adult face on the tiny body. It always makes me laugh whenever I see that, and I'm just like, well, I guess we can do that good, but it's just like everything, and like everything was like literally so well done. Like all the all of my favorite animation sequence are from Wit, right?
No,
and
a lot of them, most of them.
I mean, no, but like, Mappa does so well also. Like, the whole scene at the beginning of the 4th season part 2 when Eren just like goes and eats all the other Titans, like, god damn, it's so good.
I mean, what's called like Mappa pretty much, they brought in like the CG. They made all time CG, which I mean, at this point I'm used to.
I mean, but I do remember. We did CG too, like all the Titans. Well, the Colossal
was definitely CG.
Like,
Like I remember watching it at first, and I was like, "This kind of."
Well, actually, no. I was like, I think
all of them are, right?
Actually, no, I don't think so. I think Colossal during 4th season or with Mappa probably looks the worst.
Yeah, Colossal Titans.
But I feel like it was probably reasonable because the rumbling happens.
Everything looks ugly. Everything's ugly.
Yeah,
that's true.
No, it's good.
Yeah,
I think I prefer.
I mean, because it's also like
it's still like it's still good.
It's still so good.
Both of them are great, but I think.
Because Wit's been with the show for the longest, right? It's defining. It's literally because I'm like, all the characters are pretty, and it's just like when you look at it and you're just like, wow, all this shitty things happening to all these pretty characters, right? And it's just like, holy shit! But
it's beautifully tragic.
Yeah, but for Mappa, they're over here like, no, they're all gritty now, man. They're all roughed up.
Yeah, they're supposed to be because
I'm like,
because
they're just
with war, you're supposed to like look rough.
I love it, man.
And
literally, they're all just hot now.
I'm like, because I think I connect more with the first half of like Attack on Titans more, I guess. Well, more so because like I don't like the whole war aspect of it. Not that I don't like how the story went. I just because it's so realistic.
It's so realistic.
With how our world is going right now. Obviously with
wars,
dumb wars and stuff.
Real.
And I'm just like, but it's like I get it. And it's unfortunate, but that is how it works.
Yeah.
That's how this world works. And it's like.
I know.
Gosh damn, it just hits. It's like it's too real for it.
It's so real.
And
like
with the whole dystopian thing, and with how like everybody's fighting for their own cause.
The moment at the end when Eren's like talking to Armin, and it's just like, you guys only saved 20% of humanity, and Armin's just like, but it's not gonna stop. Like, war's not gonna stop.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be a thing,
It's true.
And it's true. It's like, even if there's only like a handful of people left. There is gonna be war.
Yeah,
like
repopulate.
That's just humans, man. We're just dumb. Okay.
Like I said, no, literally, because when they write back into the Jaegers, I'm like, yep, there we are.
Here we are, man.
Because even if Marley, no longer hates the Eldians, it's like we have the Jaegers and their beliefs, and I'm like, great.
I'm like, it's just
how great, yeah.
There's always gonna be factions. I'm like, there's always gonna be people going against each other.
Different societies, civilizations,
and it's
different countries,
and I'm like, it's
too real.
So true to life.
Oh my gosh,
I know. I do remember when when they just shifted the focus, where it's like, no, we're not. Actually, Titans are not the bad guys.
Yeah,
it's people.
People.
I remember when that whole
shift too.
Yeah, that shift, and I was like sitting here, and I was just like,
are we really
it's not
going
fair
there?
No more.
I know. Are we going there now?
Yeah. But, too real.
But it's still so good. I'm like, I'm complaining, but it's really not complaints. It's just frustration. but because I'm satisfied with like how everything went.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Outside of the ending, I still need answers from Eden. But like,
oh my God.
It's just insane. I'm like, what I really hope is they don't ever touch it again.
No, I don't think they will.
Because like with a lot of not animes, it's just anything that's like super popular and whatnot.
Right.
They try to like live off it again. They try to make like a sequel, or they make a prequel to it.
Actually,
and I really don't
writing something.
I have no idea.
I don't know, but
I don't know what it was.
But
I hope he leaves.
Don't touch it anymore. Like,
because it's been so, this long, right? The manga ended like 2 years ago.
It's like it's a 10 out of 10 anime. Like, please don't ruin it anymore. Yeah. You're like because people keep telling me to watch the live action to One Piece, and like I'm not going to.
Actually, a lot of people
recommend it, but I don't think it's gonna be for me. Like, I'm sure it's good in its own way, but it's not gonna be for me.
Because I didn't know, but like Oda worked pretty
he did.
Close with the production team with them.
Yeah.
So I was like, I actually can see it.
Yeah, I'm like, because like it's like it doesn't look bad from like clips and stuff, but I know it's not what I'm looking for out of One Piece. Like, I'm like, I know I'm not going to enjoy it. Like, it's gonna make me mad if anything, so I'm just not gonna watch it.
Yeah,
I'm sure it holds up in like certain aspects, but I'm like, but that's not what I'm trying to get out of One Piece.
Like, I please don't make a legit live action to Attack on Titan. Please don't do that to me.
Oh yeah.
Like, don't do that to the fan base. And then don't make a prequel to it. Please don't make a prequel. Yeah. Don't make a sequel to it. Please don't.
Yeah, I mean
because like the ending kind of like sets it up. But it's not like really a setup.
Then it's just gonna be, but then it's all gonna be political, right? There's no Titans anymore.
Yeah,
so it's not gonna be
but the sequel, remember do you guys watch all the way, right? To the ending where the kid with the dog, but it's like, but that's like the tree. Because it
alludes to
finding the time power again. And I'm like, if that's the case, it leaves the door open for a sequel, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
Because as you see,
he did add that chapter. He did add a little extra chapter of that after.
Yeah, this because the island, I guess, is no civilizations there again, and so it's like he could just whoever this kid is could just start it up again. And I'm like, I don't want to see a sequel to it. Yeah, I really don't. But I mean, if he does decide to do it, I'm kind of down for it. I'm like, but you just gotta make it good, AOT.
I don't know. I'm like, I'll probably be so hesitant to watch it.
Yeah, I would be because it's different. Yeah, because it's just because now, like you said, I know older,
right? And I know the whole world.
But so I kind of got kind of sad about that too. Eden sacrificed himself, and now that it's been thousands and thousands of years since all of Attack on Titan happened, which is well, that's crazy. And you really think about it, and you're like, nothing matters.
Yeah, time just moves on.
Because it just moves on. And it's like at some point you're not gonna remember. Yeah, nobody's gonna remember. At some point,
your story just
it just stops.
Yeah, that's I'm like
that makes me depressed.
That's like the biggest for me. Like when I source Attack on Titan as being nihilistic. Yeah, that's my ultimate ultimate take out of the show is it's like these things happen, but
they're
the show
trying so hard.
But the show realizes and it's self-aware that these things don't mean anything.
They don't mean anything.
These things happen, and tragic things happen. Literally 80% of the world dies. Yeah. All these characters go through these things, but at the end of the day, time moves on, and the things that happen will continue to happen, and it accepts that. And it's like I said, very nihilistic because it's
very nihilistic.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which is like I said, that little bit post-credit ending scene. It sums that whole message up because no matter how much like you said, how happened during the duration of Attack on Titan, and just what happened during that little, like I said, that whole story, it's like it amounts to
nothing.
Just a tree. It amounts to a tree.
Just a tree. Mother.
That's all it amounted to.
Yep.
No,
and
literally,
like,
I was like, wow, because it's like, it shows up to like the tree and the dog going to like, the bark of it, and I'm just like, man, you don't know the story.
No.
I'm just like, that is crazy. Because I'm like, I lived it, bro. I'm like, I lived this whole thing.
Right.
And it's like, and the story behind this tree. And it's just like insane that like, if I go to some place, like me personally in this world, if I go to some place, there's history everywhere, you know? And it's like,
everywhere.
You can go to this, like what interests me a lot is like ghost towns. Like there was like I saw a video where some people found like they were hiking, they found like they saw a road that wasn't really a road anymore, so they followed it and they saw power lines and they're like, what the heck? So they went further and then they started seeing like houses, and then they were like, oh, what is this? And so they were looking around and they found a whole ghost town, and it was a mining town that was like they mined and then they just dipped.
They just left.
They just left. So it was a whole ghost town that it wasn't ever really discovered before, so there wasn't a lot of graffiti at all. And so they were like, wow, it's like intact. Everything, the buildings were still intact. Everything was overgrown, obviously. But it's like, wow, that's crazy. But it's like, damn, at one point.
People lived here.
People lived here.
Like I said, there were stories.
There was stories here. I was like, oh my gosh. Because like, I always say that, like, because when we talk about like our biggest fears and whatnot, I always say that one of my biggest fears is being forgotten.
Really, I don't give a shit.
No, okay, no, but like you really think about it, you're like, damn, like honestly,
it doesn't matter. Like
nothing matters. And I'm like, so then you start getting to the whole wormhole of like, so why am I alive?
Like it's like existential nihilism.
And it's like, what's the purpose? Like, does my choices actually matter? And it's like, so it
matters to
like,
you, right?
obviously, but like, no, of course. But then it's like, you pass away and just nothing in life goes on, and I'm like, what's the point?
Like I said, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Like I said, nihilism.
Yeah, that's what like hit me like at the end of times. I'm like, so all the suffering, all the frustration I went through watching this crap, and it's just a kid that goes up there, and he just doesn't.
It's just put away within that like minute of outro.
It was just like a minute of it, and it just like throws it in your face, like, yep. Well, one, history is going to repeat itself. War is going to always happen.
Yeah.
Because
I'm like,
of the whole post-credit.
Yeah.
And it is also, nothing really matters.
Yeah. Like I said, which speaks to, like I said, the theme of Attack on Titan, I feel.
Yeah.
Very well. Where it's like, just.
But I'm like, I'm like, this is why Attack on Titan is so good.
I mean, like, why do you think I want to get like a tattoo of founding Titan Eren?
Okay, no, and it's so ugly.
I love his founder form, bro. I like
it too. I think it's such a good one.
It's so good, man. Literally,
it's so intimidating. And
I know. It's like
I know, but screw. I just can't. And I'm like, I can see Eden's head. I'm like, I can see your ugly ass head. Like, get that out of my face.
I love his ugly ass head. Okay.
Yeah. God, man. I was like, please get out. Maybe we'll get Reiner as a tattoo. No.
You should maybe like get half like his his rough face, and then Armored face. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like maybe that, but I was thinking about it. I kind of want to get the scene of Levi and his sword in Zeke's mouth. I kind of want that.
What the heck?
Yeah, I kind of want it.
I mean,
with him like yo, screw your ass. You know what I mean? I kind of want it, but
man. I definitely want something from like Attack on Titan, but I don't think it's gonna be like so in your face.
Crazy.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say, if I can get like an artistic like rendition of Mikasa holding Eren's head, I would.
Oh my god,
that would be so crazy.
But it has to be something like artistic. It can't just be like that page in the manga.
Panel,
Like I need it to be some sort of artistic like rendition of it.
Yeah.
To symbolize it and to really like just I don't think glorify, but like to pretty much like to put it in a way that's like. This was that moment.
Yeah.
This was that moment that like that like AOT finally did it.
Yeah.
So.
Like I mean like it'll be a cool like I think a good tattoo is like probably just the scene the panel of like Eden's head and him opening his eyes to Mikasa killing him. Mm-hmm. I think just that scene. Because I'm like, it still
I don't know
gets
if I
me
get
though.
it as a panel.
No, not the sorry, not a panel. Just I guess just the shot of it. Of his eyes opening and the reflection of his eyes just Mikasa coming for him, and it's just like
so good.
See, it's like I'm like I might cry later because like I still haven't processed it yet, and it's just like
Yeah, I'm like, I want an AOT tattoo, but I don't know what. Like, because it's like, I literally love all the scouts. I love all the characters, but I'm like, I don't want any of them on my body, though. Like, I don't want an actual character on my body. So, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't...
Something representing Attack on Titan.
I don't think I want, like, their little flag, like, their badge or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't think I want that either, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, that was enough for Attack
No,
on
for
Titan.
real. I'm like,
I'm like, this is a mega episode. If there are AOT fans,
no, we're trying to make this episode as long as the last part of.
No, my god, no, I'm like, but this had to be talked about. Like, I was literally like, scratch the episode we were gonna release. We need to talk about this.
Yeah. It's such a big monumental moment in like the anime world. If you follow Attack on Titans, because it's just. It's literally the end. It's literally
one of the
biggest animes ever.
Yeah,
because it's up. Obviously, I don't know about the other animes, so obviously, like, you guys might be offended if obviously I like, oh my gosh, but like One Piece is up there. Obviously, Attack on Titan is huge. Naruto, huge ass anime. I mean, I don't know if like Bleach is out there, but I know like a lot of people. There's a ton of Bleach.
I mean, Bleach is still semi out there right now.
Yeah, so it's still out there, but it's like it was huge. It's been huge, so I'm like, so maybe Bleach could be up there. So
I know,
I'm not sure. But
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, but like at least from what I heard and I hear from a lot of people, Bleach is a big one. Or even I don't know. What were like the other big ass
Dragon
animes?
Ball Z?
Oh well, I don't count.
Like, see with those, I'm like they're still kind of ongoing in a way, right? Like there's still like new material coming out for them, and I'm like this has a definite ending, and I'm over here like
it's like I say,
I hope it stays that way. But I'm
that's
like
what I'm saying.
That's what makes it so good.
It was a hard watch, but it was a great watch. I don't know what else to say. It's just I have so much emotions with it.
And I'm like the time that I spent watching AOT, like I would never give up. Like
same.
God, man, it was so good.
All right, well,
thanks for listening.
Let us know your thoughts, like, bro.
Yeah, just let us know. Like, when did you guys pick up Attack on Titans? Like, how was it? Did you guys follow it through like week after week of each season, episode, and whatnot? What are your favorite characters or scenes or soundtracks, favorite moments? You know what I mean? Like, do you guys hate Ed as much as me? Because I do. I just hate him.
There's quite a few people who like him.
Like, I like him, but I hate him. Yeah. I think the hate is way more stronger than liking him.
Yeah.
And like, I think about it. I'm like, I do like you, Ed. And then I'm like, but you can't redeem yourself.
He's not redeemable.
No. I can't. I don't know. I can't. But, like, let us know. Like, email at sbsbthepodcast@gmail.com or, any of our social medias, which
I think all we have right now is Instagram.
Instagram? Did we set up Twitter or TikTok?
We still have a Twitter right now.
Okay. I don't know about TikTok or anything else, but honestly, just add us at whatever social media you guys can find us at SBSB the podcast, and hit us up, let us know, give us I guess your opinions on anything. If you say we're stupid, then okay, cool, let us know. Like why you think our points are stupid.
Down for any AOT discussion.
Literally, please, the conversation.
This is the time for it because. It's fresh.
It is fresh. It's crazy.
Like a few years from now, we're just gonna be like, oh, remember AOT? And it's just like,
I know it's insane, but like I'm like just thinking about it. I'm like, damn, like I'm gonna go old, and one day when I have time, I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna sit down and watch Attack on Titans again.
Probably. I'm like, it's very watchable.
I was already. Oh, sorry. I was like, this is already long enough, and we really need to end it. But I already told my partner. I was like, as soon as I finished the last episode, I texted him. I was like, it's time to start collecting the manga. Time to start collecting it.
Yeah.
So.
I like honestly, AOT might like I don't read the mangas obviously, or I don't read the mangas.
Yeah.
I'm like I might get the collection.
It's ugly.
Just because.
I'm just saying art is ugly.
Art is ugly.
Well, okay, but just to have it.
I mean,
and then,
I would get something else, but
wow.
I might get like the first volume, but I don't think I'd get the whole collection.
Really? I think I want to.
Or actually, I might get the last volume.
I want to.
I don't know.
The first or the last, nothing in between. Just get the bookends. But
yeah. Okay. Anyways, yes, this is it. We're ending here.
Yeah, this is the end of Attack on Titans, guys.